thing is, one tire blowing out can cause another tire to blow out, and you can flip your rig, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow,
so-
I've never heard of that before. That would be bad.
Stupid advice.
I'm Tom,
And I'm Cherie.
and we're EnjoyTheJourney.Life. Oh man, on I-75, Florida, got a blowout. Doggone it. Oh, this isn't gonna be fun.
At first I thought we ruptured a water tank when I saw that water pouring out of there, but then I realized the force of that tire blowing out had actually opened our freshwater release valve just a little bit. It's all mangled, but it still works fine, and I was able to close it, and there's no damage to the water tank. Why do I share these moments with you guys? Well, I learned from the RV Road School of Hard Knocks. I actually didn't watch many YouTube videos, certainly on things to avoid in my RV. So we share these moments on our channel because you can avoid them, and they're not only costly, but they could be very dangerous. So now you can avoid them.
And for you guys giving me a hard time for not changing my own tire, I would definitely try it, but I also have a shoulder cuff injury right now. I don't have a lot of movement with my right arm right now, so I got to be super careful. So lugging a heavy RV tire doesn't work right now for me, but I'd love to change it myself. But we do have roadside service from Progressive. Again, they've been great over the years. And again, like with the old Columbus RV, we had a road ranger stop by, and he attempted to help, but kind of, you know, that's the second time they kind of come by. They look at it, they do a few things, but they don't really get the job done. Now, I know it's not nothing out of our pocket, but it doesn't seem like they're really motivated to help you. So I'm not really sure. So just a word of caution, if you are depending on them to change out your tire, maybe on a car, maybe that's fine. But a big RV like this, deal with your insurance, like Progressive's, roadside, you know, your RV policy. They'll know they need to send someone that can deal with a big RV, for example. Well, that's one thing I like about Progressive roadside. You can get a hold of them quickly. They can text you and they'll know your location right away. And I'm just waiting for someone to come and change out the tire. Just hoping they get here with enough time to get to the Cracker Barrel. That's 8 miles up the road here. That's where we stopped at on the way down here. So that makes a good stopping point for tonight, since we are not getting to the next Thousand Trails Park tonight. I saw my snappad go flying off back there, but I saw it, so I'm gonna go retrieve it. That way we're not trying to replace that as well. I'm just gonna have to get another RV snap pad. Not gonna find it out there. Got her on there, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right, that was fast.
I love that breaker bar. It does it.
We were lucky. Blown tires can cause tens of thousands of dollars worth of damage to your RV. This rubber right here, when it's going down the road, it is hot and becomes a weapon. And when it ruptures and flies all around, it can wipe out your jacks, up under here.
Just damn it, that's nothing.
Oh yeah.
I've seen it rip the whole underneath, the whole everything apart. Break
Yeah.
the leg off, break your dump valve off. Like,
Yeah.
a blowout could be substantial.
My last RV, we had all of those experiences.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was. This is the first blowout I've had on this RV, and yeah, that was nothing.
Yeah, I've seen it where the treads come out and smack and crack the fiberglass and knock windows. I've seen it bad, man. You don't want to give it the option to be able to do that.
Right. No, besides it being incredibly dangerous,
Yeah.
On the highway. So,
And the thing is, one tire blowing out can cause another tire to blow out, and you can flip your rig, man.
oh wow, wow!
so-
I've never heard of that before. That would be bad.
Now the cool thing about this tire blowout, if you can say there was something cool that happened with it, is we were able to get a brand new tire, 100% paid for, with our extended warranty, and I'll tell you more about that later on. So how do you avoid tire blowouts? Well, I have learned a lot over my years of RV experience. These are my best tips. I think RV tires are one of the biggest challenges out there for us travelers. So much rides on these tires, and several things, they do age out. It's recommended that if your tires are more than 5 years old, to go ahead and get them replaced, because there's something called dry rot, and that can affect your tires. So you want to get them replaced. What you can do is just look for the date code on your tires here to tell what the manufacturer date was, because that's another little tip I could throw in there. Just because you bought them last year, for example, your tires could have been manufactured a year or two before that. So it's not your purchase date, it's the manufacturer date of the tires that you need to be concerned with.
So they say on an RV, tires are supposed to be changed out every 5 years. So
Right.
5 years age of the tire. So these tires are from 2018.
Okay.
All right, so that's how you tell the age of your tires. See that little round oval?
Okay.
This little round oval.
Sure.
So that's 10/18. That's 13/18. That's the 13th week of the 18th year is when it was manufactured.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't realize, like, they'll go and buy new tires. Well, that tire might be 3 years old.
Sure. I've heard
people
that.
don't know
Yeah.
to check the date.
Right.
You just bought brand new 3-year-old tires.
Right.
So that rubber's
Yeah.
been aging for 3 years before it even had weight on it. You're getting close. You're 4 years on the tires.
Yeah.
I would maybe start considering looking at new tires.
You can also do a visual inspection to make sure they look like they're in good shape, uneven wear or too much wear.
And I mean, they're cupping a little bit.
And while you're down here, checking your leaf springs and shackles as well. What I'm going to do right now is go ahead and fill these up. They're a little bit under pressure. I have a TPMS system right here, but you can also use just a tire gauge if you want, but highly recommend this. You need to have an air inflator with you that's powered with a 12-volt connection like this, so you can easily air up your tires on the road as needed. While we're talking about tires, this is the one thing that you want to check as soon as you get your RV, whether it's new or used, to make sure the tires are the right rating for how much weight you have in your RV. Get your RV weighed, and also check the rating, because manufacturers are notorious for putting the cheapest tires and just enough of a tire to make it legal without much of your cargo that you've loaded in. This happened in our previous RV. It had load range E tires, and I upgraded them to load range G. This RV came with load range G tires, which is perfect. That's what it needs. So check that out, that you've got the right kind of tire on your RV before you go on any RV trips at all. As somebody joked about, that the RV tires that come on your RV that are just enough tire to get to your tire dealer and have them upgraded. Funny, not funny. A set of 4 or 6 new RV tires will set you back a little bit, but it's worth it. Another note is to always check your tires' pressure when they are cold. If you've been driving around for a little bit, they're going to be hot and the pressure is going to be a lot higher. These G-rated tires are made to have 110 PSI cold. And that's what I'm going to put into these tires. I'm going to run them all at 110 so I get the best fuel economy. Some people maybe run them at 100 or 105. They don't want to put them at the max, but they are made to be at the max cold pressure. And actually, the TPMS system right here actually has alarms set on the high end and the low end. So you program that in, so when you're on the road and your tires get too hot, you can stop and let some air pressure out, which I have done. Or if they get too low, it'll also give you an alarm to let you know that it's too low. Lots of cool things about a TPMS system, so highly recommend these.
Then you can take your TPMS monitor and mount it inside your vehicle somewhere where you can easily see the temperature and how your tire pressures are doing as they heat up as you're going down the road. You don't have to look at it a lot because you do have your warnings on here that will let you know if a tire is getting too low or if the pressure is getting too high, which has happened to me. So get yourself one of these. Seriously, one of the best investments you can make.
This leads me to bad RV advice, specifically around tires. I've got 2 things to share with you, some of the worst RV advice I've ever received, and they're around tires. First off is every time I've had an RV repair person or I've had it in the shop, I've asked, do you need to rotate RV tires? And they always say, no, there's no need to. How would you rotate them? They kind of acted like it was a weird thing. But these rear tires on triple axle RVs take a ton of abuse. All of our other tires seem pretty good, even though they're kind of starting to age out now. They're about 4 years old, so it's time to replace them. But these rear tires are the ones that have looked the worst and have taken the most abuse. So it makes sense to me that you would rotate these forward and share some of that abuse, so to speak, with the other tires. And I did a quick online search on Google, and sure, there's lots of blogs and articles about that. Yes, you need to rotate your RV's tires kind of like a car, and that just makes sense. But why is it that every person that I've talked to, expert, so to speak, says no? So just consider where you're getting your RV advice. And the next one, I think the worst, absolute worst RV tire advice that I've ever heard of. The first dealer we bought the very first RV from, the manager actually recommended to buy used tires to replace the current ones. Used tires. And I was a total newbie. I didn't know the difference. So I went ahead, saved a few dollars per tire, bought used tires on our other RV, and they all blew. I mean, and I'll share those videos from several years ago down below if you want to take a look at those. But it was such terrible advice to save 20-30 bucks on a tire and then end up causing thousands and thousands of damage, and also, again, dangerous. Stupid advice from this manager. I think one of the things out there is that big rigs like our RV they're different than a small RV. And also I think there's a difference when you're full-time in your RV like we are, as opposed to people that are just part-time. It's very likely if you only use your RV 3 to 5 times a year that your tires probably won't need to be rotated, and you'll hit that 5-year mark a lot faster, so you'll be replacing them based on age alone. But when you're full-time, putting thousands of miles on your RV every year, that you're gonna probably need to look at rotating or replacing them sooner than that 5-year mark. So we've got RV experts like you guys that watch our channel. What do you think about this? Should you go ahead and rotate your RV tires or not? Do you, on your RV right now, rotate your tires? Let us know in the comments. So how did I get a brand new tire paid for? Well, it's our extended warranty. I'll put a link down below for that so you can get a fast free quote if you're interested in it. This was a great perk to have with that extended warranty, to be able to get a brand new tire put on our RV, 100% paid for. But at about the same time, we had several other issues in the RV. Our microwave convection oven went out, the fan in the bathroom went out, and also the hot water heater wasn't working like it should. It just wasn't heating up the water that bad. And we brought RV tech in, and it was about $1,500 worth of problems. That doesn't include the tire. And it was all covered except for a small deductible, I think was like $200. I've said it before, RVs are junk. I mean, I hate to say it, but there are very few exceptions to that rule, that they are mass produced. Cheap parts are often put into them, and they take so much abuse. You're gonna have issues with your RV, especially if you're full-time and using it like a house. I mean, RVs, most of them were not designed for full-time use. That's one of the issues. Cool thing again, this extended warranty covers you if you're full-time. Lots of extras with that. Your RV can be up to 20 years old and still covered. And an older RV, man, those have a lot of issues as well. So again, check it out. That link will be down below. But it is time to go ahead and replace all of our tires. I haven't been in a hurry for it because, well, they are expensive. You know, it's not just 4 tires, it's 6 tires, and you want to get a good brand of tire for your RV. And speaking of that, what do you guys think I should get? What brand of tire? Go ahead and post that down below in the comments. And if you're brand new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you catch our video coming up hopefully soon, where we get a new set of tires and you can see which brand we go with.